What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Baldy and the Big Guy. We've got a special guest. Who we got, Peter?
We got Scary Gary Faust.
How you doing, man?
Thanks for having me. I heard I'm the first guest ever.
First guest ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Baldy and the Big Guy, you're the first guest
Baldy
ever.
and the Big Guy. Thank you so much for joining us today, dude. Appreciate it.
Of course.
All the way from Austin.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Made the trip down here pretty quickly, though. I had to fucking shit, dude. I had to shit so bad.
Just so you know, I've never met Gary personally. We've talked Instagram, like just DMs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Walks up, knuckle bumps. He's charging in the house, just like point him in the direction of the restroom.
Yeah, dude. I timed out my substance intake incorrectly. I'm actually sober except off of amphetamines, Adderall.
Okay.
So I call that Stanford sober. I don't drink anymore. I don't do any cocaine, no ketamine, no heroin, no pills, nothing. I just take Adderall and I drink a lot of coffee. And
it hits you
for those of you that don't know, if you eat and you take Adderall at the same time, you got about 25-30 minute window, and then you are shitting your brains out.
Like liquid shit.
Sometimes it depends. It depends.
Yeah, okay.
Solid shit. So I'm a healthy man.
That's good.
But yeah, dude. So I was already late because I'm late to everything, and so I was driving down the shoulder, going at like 100 miles an hour, and I got this chick with me, and she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this?"
Is this first time you met her?
I met her we went out to the bar the other day, and then this first time I've like really hung out with her, and so she thinks I'm a psychopath now.
Is that by part?
But I was like, hey, I gotta get to the podcast.
Is that par for the course, or is that just like
the what?
Is that just like the normal way it is though? They just think you're crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm always like that.
Yeah.
She was like, she actually
just another Sunday.
She was like, is it really like this with you every day? You just wake up and go 100 miles an hour? I was like,
yeah, pretty much, right?
There's no other way to live, dude. I think that everybody should live life like there's a gun to your head, because there really is. Everybody has a certain allotted amount of time on Earth.
Right.
YOLO, right?
100%. You only have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't mean act like a fool or anything, unless you want to, I guess.
So kicking off, getting into a bunch of shit. How did you become, and this is kind of, Peter and I were talking about some of this shit ahead of time, of course, because we try to do some of that. How did you get into social media and everything as far as that goes? Like get into doing what you're doing?
I went to UT for journalism, right? I originally wanted to get into the film program there. I don't really have the film chops to do that. You have to have a pretty extensive background of knowledge about that kind of stuff from a young age to get really good at it, unless you have like a lot of money to access the expensive stuff. You know what I mean? Because like cameras are expensive, So if you're not taught that stuff, or you have like a mentor or something, it can be difficult to do it. Not saying it can't be done, but I basically went to UT for journalism because I knew I wasn't good enough at film. And prior to that, I wanted to be a writer. So, and I wasn't good enough at writing. So I was like, let's put film and writing together. You kind of get, journalism, multimedia journalist. Went through the J School program, got an internship with Michael Cargill, who I've now worked with for, I want to say 65 years, something like that.
That's awesome.
Longest I've ever worked for somebody. Thanks for not firing me. And that internship turned into sort of like a field reporter type situation. And then I ended up becoming the producer of his radio show, Come and Talk It, which I, over the years, have turned into a podcast and YouTube channel, which got nominated for a Gundy and stuff like that. I guess the short way of saying it was I went to the journalism school and I had to choose between going to work for like Fox 7, Austin, something like that, or Spectrum. No offense to them. I actually watch Fox 7, but it was either that or work for this like gun radio show with Cargill, who's, a maniac, but he's awesome. He's the man and he's fighting for rights that I agree with. So that's how it ended up.
That's cool.
And I also think the news is total bullshit, to be honest.
That's what I love about podcasting, honestly. It's like
it's a more honest form of the news. Right. Yeah. And people can fact check you and you can fact check them. Sometimes stuff gets edited out. The only time I edit anything out of any of my podcasts is if it's going to incriminate me or hurt my chances of, when I was going through family court, because I have a kid out in California, if it was hurting my chances of being able to see my son, which that case is over with, so I don't really care anymore.
That's good.
We're good.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. Like I don't even watch the news. I literally just I listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And when they say there's spin on it, because that's the whole point of a podcast.
Yeah.
But you hear this spin on the news, and if it's something that's interesting, I'll be like, okay, and I'll Google it. Like, fuck the news. Like, fuck any of that stuff. It's like, listen to a podcast, get what you want to hear from that, and then make your own decisions after that.
100%.
That's
Yeah,
the
you
best way
can
to do it.
fact check anything, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's got the fucking internet nowadays. It's one of the things, right? So when we were kind of as you're going about doing those things, how, as far as kind of where'd you get? Let me reset that question. Where did Scary in the Gary come from? What's so scary about you besides driving 100 miles an hour down the fucking highway on the shoulder?
My baby mama was the first person to call me that.
Really?
Yeah. No joke.
Was there a reason behind it though?
Because, well, yeah, man, I used to like drink a lot and do a lot of drugs, and I was like a wild man. And I always get into some shit, dude.
Like,
you know?
accidentally, like, just fall
Yeah.
into it?
My dad has always told me that he's like, hey man, our family has this thing. It's like a magnetic circus is what he calls it, I think.
Okay.
Where like crazy people are kind of just magnetized towards us, and that might have something to do with my last name, the whole the curse, the Faust thing, the guy that sold his soul to the devil. And
that's good. Yeah.
You ever heard of this?
Yeah,
I've heard the story. I haven't heard the story.
So Faust is like this old German legend about Johann George Faust. I think he was born around in the 1400s at some point, maybe like 1470 if I remember correctly. And he was like an astrologer, a
mystic kind of dude or some shit.
yeah.
Like that.
What would be like an alchemist? I guess they would
that's
call
what
it.
it'd be.
Yeah.
But he was accused of selling his soul to the devil, and then that's like basically the story. And like
He's like a
in some ways, the
great
story ends with
grandparent or
him
something.
being saved from going to hell by like some like virgin or some bullshit. And then the other and then the other way is like he just burns in hell. But he sold his soul to the devil for eternal knowledge. I think that's the most common because it's been rewritten so many times.
Yeah.
But while you're out just like looking for virgins.
No, dude, I'm actually Muslim.
Oh, no.
72.
You want your 72 virgins
right
on Earth,
now?
though. You don't,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah. I'm
wait
not
that
gonna blow
long.
myself up yet, but or on purpose at least. I might crash that truck and blow up. But yeah. So that's I just have always gotten that nickname. Weirdly enough, over different groups of friends in different periods, like probably 5 different groups of friends, I've gotten that nickname naturally.
Really?
Yeah.
Just the shit you do. Just the wild shit you do.
And even
Or
just stuff
whatever
that
it is.
that just happens to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So give us an example. What's the fucking wildest thing that would kind of blend
Okay. Here's
into that?
an example.
All right.
So last time I saw you, we're at JT's.
Yep.
And I brought this stripper friend of mine down, and we're hanging out with a bunch of execs or marketing people from these multinational billion-dollar companies, and this stripper just starts tasering everybody in the middle of this.
Fuck?
Yeah. And that's just the kind of stuff that happens, I guess.
Just
Does that make
around.
sense?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that must have been happening like right after I left.
You weren't there for that?
I wasn't there
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
you did split, huh?
Yeah, I bounced. Yeah.
Yeah, she actually was. She tasered Laser, and he got all mad, dude. He was like, I want a pacemaker, man. Shut up, dude. Quit being a pussy.
Yeah.
Just
That's what
resets
Laser's
his
known for,
heart
just being
again.
a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that his thing?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
Not really.
He's out of his fucking mind. Have you met him?
I have not.
Crazy,
I have not
dude.
yet.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Good guy.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did hear this story about you got fucking arrested for littering, I think.
Oh, yeah, with
like, how
Harvey.
does that happen? Like, okay.
That's a perfect example of what the kind of bullshit that happens to me, dude. I
got
got court
arrested-
coming up for that.
For one, I got arrested, like, the dumbest thing for me. Granted, I was underage. I got arrested drinking beers at the beach one time, right? And I was like, that's the dumbest fucking thing ever. Whatever. But littering, I didn't even know they did. I didn't know they arrested people. I thought they just give you like a fucking ticket.
littering and.
Oh, littering.
Yeah, it's like a
and-
super trooper. Yeah, dude, that's the shit that happens to me is like out of a fucking movie. No, it was stupid, dude. I went on tour with Laser. I'm not even a stand-up comic, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Everybody thinks that. I'm not.
Well, it's 'cause
I've
you're
done
just
it a
funny.
couple times.
In the
I'm not even that funny. I think I'm just
shit you
nuts,
put out.
dude.
That's
No,
what-
you're just crazy. It's just
Yeah.
scary.
it's fucking fun.
Yeah, just scary.
You're just scary. That's
I'm
what
not
you're-
really that scary after all. I'm just kind of a funny guy. For the record, I'm actually I think I'm a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, you're totally
Cool.
good
I
guy.
just wanted to hear other people say that
How would I
on
know
record.
it? Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, it's documented on the podcast now. So
It's official. Wait, what did
Oh, the littering.
the littering
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
dude. So I opened a comedy. I hosted one of Laser's shows because Laser didn't find a host in time, so he's like, "Yeah, I'm making you do this." I was like, "Whatever."
Shit.
So I agreed. I don't say no to a lot of stuff, and then JT was there, and some other people. Whatever. Long story short, I fucking killed it. Just winging it, and went to Laser was like, dude, just come on tour with me, dude. It's gonna be in Ohio, your hometown. You'll get to see your family, yada yada. I went with Laser to Columbus, Cincinnati, somewhere else. We end up in Pikeville, Kentucky, and this is in the Holler.
Okay.
I'd never been to the Holler. It's like bordering West Virginia. It's this is where the Mothman is from. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Fucking these people are crazy. You know what I mean? It's all just like mist everywhere. You feel this demonic presence
Like
floating around.
Yeah, it's just dark all the time.
Dude, yes,
It's like gray,
Yes.
overcast. Yeah.
dude, the whole
Trees.
It just felt like the devil was on my back, the whole time, or it was just all the cocaine we were doing. Laser fucking parties, dude. He's one of the only people I can barely keep up with, but we were at a bar. And I later found out that the police were watching this bar because
shit.
they were breaking all these fucking TABC rules and yada yada, which we didn't know at the time. So I thought they were just targeted me for no fucking reason. We're at this bar. It's like day 4 of this tour. I'm exhausted. We've been doing cocaine until 7 a.m. every single night. I'm burnt out. My dad's our chauffeur, right? But he's covered head to toe in tattoos. He looks like a psychopath. And I just like hit the wall.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, Dad, let's go back to the hotel. I'm fucking toasted." He's like, "Sure, whatever, man." My dad doesn't do drugs or anything.
He's just-
never really has
That's cool.
that I know of. He just will have a couple beers. So he's like, "Yeah, sure, no worries." So we split. He pulls over to get gas. But right before, when we walked out of the bar, I tossed this little plastic cup aside. I literally walked out the front of this bar on accident, just with a plastic cup.
Oh, and it's like
Yeah. It must have had like a fucking, like a whiskey in it or something. But it was at this point, it was like ice. There was nothing left.
Okay.
It was just like watered down ice. I throw it on the ground. We pull up to the gas station to get gas, and like 4 fucking cop SUVs just pull up, going fast as fuck, gravel spitting everywhere. And I get out.
Jump out, boys.
Yes. And I was like, what the fuck did I do this time? I was like, I'm going home to call it a night early, trying to be responsible.
10 o'clock or some
It was
shit.
midnight. Dude.
Okay, yeah,
it
it's
was.
early.
It was like right after midnight. Nothing ever good happens after midnight. My mom was right. But I get out of the car and this cop immediately is up on my shit. He's yelling at me. My dad gets out. He's like, "What the fuck?" My dad makes it worse. He starts yelling at the cops. The cop's this fucking bald-headed asshole. Nothing against bald people, but he's this like bald-headed asshole.
Or assholes.
And or asshole. Yeah. No offense to you or me. And he's just like, "You threw that cup on the ground," and I was
You're like, what fucking
I was
cup
like, what are you
talking
talking about? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to tell the truth to the cops, dude. I've been fucked over plenty of times by the police. And I mean, not that all cops are bad, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, you better if you tell us, we'll make it easier on you or whatever." And I was like, "So you're telling me if I tell you that I threw that cup on the ground, that I'm not going to be in any trouble?" And he's like, "Not anymore. It's too late." And he just cuffed me, threw me in the back of the car. And there's a female cop who's like, "I have no idea why he's arresting you." It was weird, bro. Yeah.
Jill.
And I think Kyle, the other guy on tour with us, was there, and he was basically like in disbelief. He was like, "Man, Gary, you really do have that weird like luck."
Something like a cloud.
Yeah, this weird arrest me luck on you.
Yeah,
Right.
Hey,
Don't you have a new
speaking of
tattoo?
which- speaking of which,
I was gonna
I just
say.
got this these handcuffs broken tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I
zoom in.
told my shout out Juan Diego Martinez over at East End Tattoos in Austin. If you need a tattoo and you're in Austin, Texas, they do walk-ins like every single fucking day until 2 a.m. But that's my homeboy. He's
Till
doing
2
he's
a.m..
he's
Jesus.
sleeving up my whole arm. See, all the tattoos I've ever had, they've all had like some meaning or story behind them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, not that these don't. They all actually do too.
There's something.
But I was never a huge tattoo guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, since he's my homeboy, the other day he was just like, "Dude, let's just run a podcast in here every once in a while, and fucking I'll just start tatting you up." for super
awesome.
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me when I first started getting tattoos. I was like, I want it to have a meaning. Like, I want to have some type of like, what's that tattoo mean? Oh, this is a blah blah blah. Then I just at one point I was like, I was gonna get a unicorn. I was gonna get a fucking T-Rex. There's a fucking dumb, fucking stupid tattoo.
That's half my.
I still like picking stuff out that has meaning to me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I grew up getting tattoos starting when I was like 16.
Yeah.
We made homemade tattoo guns.
Homemade?
I've got like old shit. I'm old as fuck. So
Yeah.
I'm 47.
He's 67 years old.
Yeah.
You're 154 years old.
54 years old.
212.
And my tattoos are from the decades that you would think they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old
from
tribal.
Tribal and stuff. My dad's got a couple of those.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
dad's like 55,
Yeah,
56.
so
something like
he and I are kind of.
Dude, my dad literally has leopard spots tattooed on his head. His whole.
Is he a
bald?
biker
He's a bald
gang?
guy?
Yeah, he's bald. He's a lunatic, dude. Are you Italian?
No, I'm French. Lamontaine's my last.
Literally the only people on earth I don't like are the French, dude.
Well, sorry. And my
Yeah.
family's out of Quebec.
That's why we put you
top of
way
that,
on
too.
him way over there.
Yeah, I was like, we needed the console to be over here.
Yeah.
It's all
I have
good,
plenty of
dude.
separation between you two.
Yeah. The US
I
and the
read your
French.
notes beforehand.
I don't know why that thing's glitching. So I was looking through some of your social media and just kind of doing my due diligence, right? And you share a crackhead bit you in the leg
Dude, yeah.
or some shit. How in the fuck do you even get near number one, a crackhead? Number two,
I feel like
the
the
fuck
first
do you
part of
end up
that
getting
being near a crack
bit?
isn't that crazy of a story
No.
for.
it's not. I don't know. For
I feel like
me,
that part's not the crazy part. Being near
I
a
don't,
crack.
maybe the circles I run in. The French got something right.
Dude, I was in college and we were at a party. We had just finished midterms or final exams or something. We're in this apartment, this big apartment, like student apartment complex. We're going from one place to the next. And out of nowhere, this dude just literally, I mean, this is unbelievable. This guy literally jumped out of a bush, like popped out of it, like off the ground, attacks our buddy, this Canadian guy, and then starts swinging on my friend Jasper, who was an MMA fighter from Sweden. And this dude was a gnarly guy, right? Jasper's just piecing him up. They get on the ground. The dude bites into Jasper's bicep. Okay. And I'm like, what the fuck is good? I've never seen anything like this. It
Right.
reminded me of that Florida guy bath salts story. Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
Chewing
yeah.
people's faces
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
I'm kind of just letting him handle business. I'm not one to like jump somebody, even though he jumped us. And then Jasper starts going, he's biting my arm, and this, in that weird Swedish accent. Like, yeah, you really didn't say what he's saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What are you
Sounds
talking
like he's
about?
on the fifth
He's
set
like,
of Frozen or
He
something.
won't get out of my arm. The dude is
Latched on.
locked in like Pitbull style into his bicep, and he starts bleeding. And then I realized, oh my god. So I
gross,
started
so dangerous.
stomping his head out, dude. And he unlatched from him and then bit into my leg and wouldn't let go of my leg. So now I'm on the ground, like punching him in the head, and everybody's at that point. And the other dude that originally got jumped that was in front of us, he started hitting him too. Turns out this guy was a student. Yeah. And he just had a serious
wigged
drug
out.
problem. He had smoked meth and crack and stuff like that.
God
Yeah.
damn.
It wasn't actually even a homeless crackhead. It was a student.
Just a
It was
dude
a
that was
student
on a
who's just high
bad
as fuck
fucking
on shit. God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
odds.
But he was also a piece of shit, obviously,
Well, clearly,
biting
yeah.
people. I mean, look, I've smoked crack. I never bit anybody.
You know how great. But like,
How do you remember?
bite. Like, there's one thing to get bit by a dog. It's another thing to get bit by a human.
Yeah, speaking of, your dog just bit me when we were downstairs. You son of a bitch.
He knows.
I don't like the French, dude.
He's Australian fucker. He's a kelpie.
But he's been adopted by the French.
Your
Yeah,
dog's blind. You said,
and
right?
he's going blind. Yeah, my
Yeah.
little kelpie.
He probably thought you were black. Maybe I can't say that.
I do not have a racist dog.
Well, I mean, that's not what I
He
heard.
doesn't see color because he doesn't see shit.
yeah. It's actually impossible for that dog to be
Everybody's
racist.
black to him, yeah.
Everybody's black. Yeah.
Just a fucking moving shadow.
Yeah.
I used to, my ex-girlfriend, when she lived with me, her dog was blind and it would run into like walls and stuff. It was hilarious.
That's him. He turns around and smacks the shit out of himself, dude.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
"Oh."
Yeah, I saw
Like,
him
you
do that.
feel that? Yeah,
He
you're like,
turned real sharp and
Oh, yeah.
smacked his head on the wall.
yeah.
Doesn't he make a noise? He just doesn't. He's embarrassed about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I used to be able to see shit. Damn it.
That's why he bit me, dude. He hit his head. He's like, ah, fuck that. He thought it was me.
you're again, I was creeping on all your shit,
Yeah,
right?
naturally.
So what was the deal with Jared Taylor like going after you like I think it was about a week ago, a little bit on social media. He was
Like your back and forth banter, you always are
yeah,
having.
yeah.
We just talk a lot of shit, I guess. We're always dude, I became fast friends with Jared actually. It's weird. You know who else I was like that with CJ?
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about that. You were asking me about some shit about him.
Oh yeah.
Dude, okay, so I'll tell this story
Give me
real
a
quick.
crazy CJ story.
Because I don't really have much of a reason for why me and JT fuck
just
with each
kind
other
of
so much. We just kind of do.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, because the first time I did stand up with Laser was when I actually got to know him. Because originally I met you way back, and you didn't even remember me, you fucking asshole. That's the funniest part.
There's a picture of Jared right behind you. From the that's how this is where Peter and I met.
That's where me and-
that was the
that's where
Ski
me
Legs
and,
tour where they
met.
did the cruise.
Wow, dude, that's incredible.
2019 cruise.
So it's
Big Rose
2019.
cruise.
So that's 5 years ago. 5 years ago.
Dude. So I'll give you the backstory to how I met Jared.
Okay.
Which involves also how I met CJ.
Yeah.
And then I can tell a funny story about CJ because he is fucking insane.
He's insane.
He's the only person that I hang out with, and I think to myself,
Like you're certifiable.
this guy is crazier than me. So, and I think you got a similar story about the pee.
God, yeah, I'll share that in a
Okay,
minute.
cool, perfect. So I did a commercial with I helped you guys do a commercial with Brent Pell. I was
Yeah.
second AD. I had no clue what I was doing at all.
Yeah.
I
Like learning your way in.
first time I ever slated anything. I just told him. I told Brent. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you
Brent
learn-
called me because he wanted me to get a crew together because that's what I'm good at doing is assembling people. You know,
Okay,
creating
yeah.
a team of people and just getting shit done. No any means necessary.
Did you know Brent before that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had met Brent through Sunset Strip Comedy when they were still at Sunset Room. Sunset Room can fuck themselves. The owner's a fucking asshole. And they treated us poorly. I can say this now because the owner of Sunset Strip Comedy, which is separate from Sunset Room, my buddy Adam Hartle, he died. And he was the only thing that was stopping me from bad mouthing them because he said, dude, you got to be nice. Because Adam Hartle was like the nicest dude ever. But he was the original Sunset Strip founder. And that club's now owned by Brian Redband, actually.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, over there on 6th Street. And I still am associated with them. Sunset Strip is awesome. Go check out a show there. It really is. That place is great.
Where's
it's where
that?
the old Parish used to be.
in
6th
Austin?
Street in Austin,
Okay.
second floor right above Happy Chicks.
Right on.
Why was I telling that part of the story?
I have no
That's
idea.
how I met Brent.
Oh, that's how you met Brent.
Yeah,
That's right.
This is a meandering tangent here. That's how I met Brent. So then Brent knew that I'm a good producer, right? That's actually what I do, by the way.
You produce shows.
Yeah, I'm not a stand-up comic. I'm not a comic at all, actually. I produce stuff, and then people like having me on podcasts because I'm just good at talking.
Yeah.
because I'm a journalist.
Sometimes
really. I'm a
you
journalist
just
and
need
a
to know how to
producer.
talk.
That's
right.
and by proxy, a podcaster.
And it's the perfect venue for you. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So I met Brent. Brent knows that I'm good at producing, and he was like, "Hey, get me a crew." I got the crew from Austin together for the Alien Black Rifle Coffee commercial. We drove down to the ranch in San Antonio, and I hit it off with him immediately, even though he didn't fucking remember me. And now you want me on your podcast, dude? I should have just said no. Fuck you. And then, but yeah, we did this commercial with Brent about an alien crash lands and smokes crack, and that's when I met all those dudes. But it was funny because the one person I didn't really meet was JT.
Yeah.
He was like the one guy I didn't meet. And 2 years later, maybe
at least 2
something
years
like that,
probably.
I fucking I do the show with Laser. I'm hosting the comedy show. Just by happenstance, I meet JT, and we just hit it off like immediately because we've got a couple of vices in common that we enjoy. You know what I'm saying, dude? And just became fast friends. And so when you become fast friends with somebody like that, you just like fucking with them, I guess.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So
That was the way roundabout story. Anyways, so story about
so
CJ.
that got you to CJ meeting him,
Somehow.
Jared.
I don't remember even
CJ
how I
somehow.
fucking met
And
CJ.
what's his Instagram?
Daddy's Juiced.
Daddy's Juiced. Yeah.
He's dude in Vegas. He is fucking famous. I took him to the Gundies,
Okay.
Yeah, I
and
got another story for that one too.
dude, holy shit!
So I was
I got
looking through his shit because we were talking about getting him on as well and stuff like that. And I was like,
He's a sweetheart,
he's in
dude.
Vegas.
He is.
The background, just his shit's great. Like go out and check out.
He's
his
hilarious.
Instagram stuff too.
He does porn, but it's funny porn.
But
Yeah.
see, I don't have any. I haven't gone into that because I was like, fuck. I think I followed him a long time ago.
You mean you didn't check out his OnlyFans?
Like I'm not gonna.
You
Yeah,
check out-
You gay?
You didn't take out Daddy Juice OnlyFans?
but is it his
It's him and his wife.
It's
No,
him and
he
his wife.
actually got banned from OnlyFans.
How did that?
I don't know, actually. I don't think he actually did anything wrong. I think there was a. I don't know. I shouldn't speak on it because I don't know.
No, I hear you. But I was like, is it his OnlyFans or is
His
it
wife,
hers or
it's
is
his
it
wife
theirs?
now because
Okay.
his got removed, I think. Sonia Mallory. She's funny as fuck too, dude.
Yeah, she's super
She's
sweet.
like, she's a fucking
French-
a French
I was trying to
Canadian.
figure out where she was from, and I was because she's
Yeah.
got
That's
the
why you
handy
asked her.
accident.
Yeah, no, actually, I get along with it. Dude, and their relationship's hilarious, dude. I actually did a podcast with them on my own podcast.
I saw that. Yeah.
Faust and Furious. Check it out. She's like the man in the relationship, and he's like the woman. It's
I
hilarious.
actually believe that.
It is
100%.
hilarious, dude.
That's
It is
wild.
so funny.
in every way. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know how the fuck we were gonna get to this, but I got the story about CJ. I'll tell you real quick. So we're in Scottsdale, dude, and I don't even know why. Laser brought me out to shoot some stuff, right?
Okay.
To record some sets and whatnot. He ends up spending like $1,500 on my ticket because it got like fucked up and canceled and all this crazy shit.
To go
happened.
from or Austin to holy shit.
To Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fucked up, bro. It was all like last minute. All this crazy shit
That's like a
happened.
90-minute
So
flight.
of course, like I get there and he's like, "Ah, fucking spent $1,000 to get you out of here." All this bullshit. I'm like, I don't know why you wanted me to come out, whatever. Look, the reality is, he wanted to just hang out with me, but he didn't want to say it. He's like, "Yeah, we got a big job to do," but he just loves hanging out with me. I get there immediately, dude. I'm like 10 steps off the plane, and they're just fucking a big 8-ball cocaine get right up my nose. 3 days later, I'm like waking up on the couch. We went on the craziest bender ever, dude. No joke. I'm
Fuck.
dead serious. I wake up on the couch. CJ is like 6 feet from me, just peeing in a bottle. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Like there's no toilet here or something.
Yeah, well, listen.
All right.
And he's like, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? But like, I didn't want to say anything because I
You
just
didn't know him
left
yet,
alone.
right?
So I was just
You're
like,
just
I'm like,
trying-
all fucking hungover. He finishes off, fills the whole bottle up, and then just drinks the whole thing and walks
Oh,
away.
what
He did not.
Fuck.
He did not know I was watching him. So he didn't do that to put on a show.
He just does that
He just
for fucking.
he just did that for himself.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck? Because I heard of people drinking pee. And I've never seen it in real life. And I remember thinking, that's fucking really weird.
I've heard
Yeah.
about like putting pee if you have like eczema or like poison ivy or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
or
you're
whatever
talking
it is.
about jellyfish.
Yeah, or stuff
Yeah.
like pee on.
But
it.
you don't drink the pee to fucking get rid of it.
I don't think that's the way it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. And then later on, he ended up eating a urinal cake and
Oh,
made like the owner of this bar throw up all over the place when he did it. He was like, hey, check this out. Took a bite of it. Dude just puked everywhere. Yeah, he's
I
nuts,
don't even know
dude.
what to fucking
Yeah,
say.
CJ's fucking crazy. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's a fucking mentally ill person, dude.
Yeah,
You
Hey,
got a story,
really
too.
sweet guy.
My story's the fucking same as that, man.
But he said
They-
they're super nice people.
they're the nicest people. They're
he's
fucking
just a
super nice. So
little-
they're just crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Very
crazy.
warm-hearted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What was
awesome.
your story? Similar?
Similar. We were at the AVNs in Vegas, and he's like, I gotta take a piss. You got pissed? I'm like, yeah, I got pissed. He's like, all right, let's just go back. So I went out there, pissed behind the fucking behind the dumpster. And he's like, hey,
Pee straight into his mouth.
he's no. I wish that
Dude,
was
He didn't do that too.
that would have been better.
Really?
But
Yeah.
no, he just picks up this fucking bottle off the ground. He's like, shakes out the rest of the beer in it, pisses into it, then takes a swig. And I was like, I didn't throw up, but I fucking damn.
And
near
you're the
threw
one
up. It was just-
recording it.
I was recording. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
You're-
He's just like, oh, it's gonna be funny. I'll send it to Jared. I was like, okay. Oh fuck! I was like, nope,
That's
nope.
such a fucking half-brained thing. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be funny. We'll send it to Jared. That's the person
yeah.
who gets sent that. shit.
That's what I was,
I was like,
thinking. I'm
fuck, that's-
you're the
nope, can't do that,
recipient.
nope.
People think of you.
I didn't send it to Jared. I was like, no, I can't do that. That's
Right? People
disgusting.
think of Jared.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be funny. I'm going to make him laugh. I'm going to
Yeah.
piss in a bottle and I'm going to drink. That's
yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, it's
I don't know. Hey, the fucking comedy's comedy. dude.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Who's the craziest person you've ever worked with?
CJ.
It is CJ.
Yeah,
I mean, that
easily.
was literally like the next thing.
CJ and Laser are fucking nuts. I got another story about CJ, dude.
Let's go.
So I got Come and Talk at the podcast that I do with Michael Cargill.
Okay.
We're suing the ATF. I just got a little tattoo here too.
That's-
a little bullet that says
was the-
"fuck the ATF." right
That's
here.
gentleman
Oh,
that I
hey, there you
saw you guys were
Nice.
on. Let me see.
Little 556 there.
I saw you and him on Drinking Bros. maybe a month and a half ago. 2
Right
months ago,
after we
something
got
like that.
back from the Supreme Court in
Okay.
DC.
Yeah. I saw him. That was a great episode as well.
Yeah.
So
Michael knows his shit, dude.
I follow him now
He's-
because of that podcast, quite honestly.
Him and I will get on a phone call and just trade ideas back and forth of what we want to do. We've been focusing a lot on short-term content lately because short-form content because it just gets more views and we can say things in a really you say it with brevity. You know, it's like what Hemingway said, the iceberg theory. You want to speak with brevity, and you can say this much, but it really means that
ton
much,
more.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so that podcast got nominated for a Gundy, which is the big gun awards show at SHOT Show in Vegas. They held the ceremony at the Venetian. I'm remembering this story now. This is fucking crazy. So so we get nominated. We didn't even make the top 5. They tell you if you get the top 5, if you get into the top 5, you get free tickets to the show. We didn't even get into the top 5, but I'd already bought my ticket. I emailed the fucking people at the Gundys and I was like, dude, can you guys please just give me a ticket? I already bought my plane ticket. I bought my flight. And I was like, they were like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. And I was like, can I also get a second one, please? So I have a +1. So I'm thinking I'll just bring some sexy ass girl with me. It'll be fun. I'll fucking we'll hang out, we'll party. And then I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute, CJ lives in Vegas.
You'd be a great person to bring.
I thought, why would I ever bring some dumb bitch when I can just bring CJ with me? He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So I take CJ. Dude, this is how fucked up we were. I'm on the plane. I'm drinking barely. I'm like, I want to be like at least
Just
a little bit
sipping some
smooth because I got to go on the red carpet and take the pictures and shit. And I didn't know if I was going to have to be like interviewed or anything, which I doubted it because I'm not like really well known. I didn't make the top 5, so it doesn't really matter. So I get off the plane. I call CJ. He's like fucking wasted out of his mind. And he goes, wait, that's tonight? I thought it was tomorrow. So I'm like, oh, great. I get to his house. We get in an Uber. We head there. The whole time I'm slamming beers the whole way. We get out of the taxi at the Venetian. We get out of the car. Immediately, a cab driver goes, that's Daddy Juiced. We walk into the Venetian and people are fucking like pointing him out. He's famous in Vegas. Yes. And I'm like, oh, perfect. This is because I've never been to Vegas. I was like, this is gonna be fucking awesome.
Okay,
dude.
so you got like a chauffeur walking around, whatever. Yeah.
So we go in, dude, immediately. We get onto the fucking the red carpet. They're taking all of our pictures. He just is so hammered. He just gets down, acts like he's blowing me on the red carpet. I'm like, hey, I say, hey, hands up, don't shoot. And everybody's just staring at us like they're loving it. We go to the bar. We're drinking at the bar. We thought this guy was just hooking us up with drinks because he liked us. Well, it was an open bar, so we tipped this guy like $100 for no reason. I'm just giving you. I'm trying to fucking paint the picture, show you how fucking drunk we were. We run into Caleb. We're so drunk. Caleb is like, "Yeah, I'll see you guys later." Walks away. Caleb, dude, the dude we slam Mad Dogs with, fucking Mountain Dogs.
Mountain Dogs.
You know what? By the way, those are fucking.
We're gonna
delicious.
try one in a couple of weeks.
good,
All right, we're gonna try one.
So that's how drunk we are. We finally get into the show. They seat us fucking second to front row. CJ's hammered. The dude's hosting the show. CJ's yelling, I can host this show better than you. He's making a scene. People in front of us turn around. They're like, hey, shut the fuck up. Our other buddies with us. And I just at a certain point, I could see everybody was looking at us. And I thought, hey, look, before we get kicked out of here, I'm just going to get us to leave. So I grabbed CJ. We split. We walk back out down the red carpet. And out of nowhere, some little old man in an electric wheelchair just zips on up. And he's like, hey, fellas, let's party. So we start shotgunning it.
Was the dude in like one of those little scooter things?
We shotgunned tall cans of High Noon with him.
God. Nice.
20 seconds later, we're puking everywhere.
Yeah, no shit.
And we're fucking blitzed. We're so drunk that CJ's wife sent the nanny to come pick us up. Right?
You didn't go home, did you?
Dude, we were walking through the Venetian, through the casino part. And I don't like when people touch my face, right? Or like really anywhere
Just get
in
up
this
in
area.
it. Yeah.
And CJ keeps touching me. He keeps touching my head, my hair. And I'm like, dude, if you fucking touch me again, I'm going to punch you in the face. He's like, you mean like this? Hammered, touches me. I push him off me to get space, and I just spear him through a table. splits the table in half, breaks this bar
Like
stool.
WWE
Dude,
shit.
security gets called. We got up and sat over in like a little different area. Security looks right at us, and we're just like, it was crazy, dude. And the nanny's fucking beating CJ with her keychain thing. Like, stop acting like an ass. It was just, the whole thing was nuts, dude.
So even he has a babysitter.
Yeah,
That's actually the
he
name,
has to.
not for the kids, for him.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
That's fucking
But
right.
yeah, so that's how that went, and we ran into JT, of course.
Well, yeah.
Of course, we ended up running into
So
JT.
he
Right
left the Venetian and showed up with this hair. No, at
you were there?
at the what's the one, the big fucking like Space Needle looking one?
Oh fuck! They renamed it. They rebranded it. It used to be
Silo or the
yeah, something like that. The one
whatever.
You were there, right?
Yeah,
It's got the
well, I was gonna
rides
say,
on the top.
So y'all came in, and I'm like, I hold the camera at Stratosphere. Yeah, so I'm holding the camera like filming a vlog, and fucking CJ runs, and he's like, he just runs full fucking speed and jumps into my arms. And I'm holding the camera. I'm like, oh fuck, and yeah,
$5,000 camera in your
Didn't
hand.
you find me in a McDonald's
I did.
later? Yeah, I got somehow I ended up in a McDonald's. Like, almost passed out.
he
Eating
asked
like
me-
8 cheeseburgers.
He asked me, he goes, well, where what's open for food right now? I'm at McDonald's upstairs. He said, okay. And then, like, so we sit down, we're talking, we're having some drinks, and everybody's just like chilling. And then like an hour later, I was like, has anybody seen Scary? Like, everybody's like, I have no idea. And I was the only one who's like completely. I mean, I had
phone was
two drinks.
It
like,
takes him forever to like. He can drink a million drinks. We were on the.
but I only had
cruise.
like 2 drinks, so I was like pretty much
Yeah,
sober.
you're
I was like,
fine.
I'm gonna go find Gary because he's probably fucking passed
I'm
out.
telling
He's
you.
up in the fucking McDonald's, and he's just like, he has like fucking 6 cheeseburgers around. He's just like, nice. I was like, are you good? He's like,
fries.
oh man, I'm just eating some fucking cheeseburgers. Like, all right, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, I'll make sure you're good.
You
That's all.
hate it when you're reminded of shit. You're like, oh yeah, I ate a dozen fucking cheeseburgers.
I'm just hungry. I was just hungry, man. I was eating
yeah.
some cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
and he had
you-
like 6 or 8 of them around him. It
You
was funny.
can like drink a lot and not really get drunk.
No,
He hangs in the pocket.
I've only
pretty
seen
good.
him drunk one time, and it was on his. We took a cruise maybe a few months ago,
Yeah, it was.
and he
yeah.
literally went.
I went
hard
fucking
in the paint,
hard.
dude.
Yeah.
First night I drank like I went fucking hard.
We counted
I was
all of
drinking
our, I had
I was
100
drinking
drinks
a-
in 3 days.
I
He
had
had
97.
85 or 90.
But my first night I was drinking a like a Manhattan cocktail.
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is basically straight fucking bourbon.
Fancy.
I was drinking one every 7 minutes. So I would get one, then I order another one.
7 minutes?
That's the
It takes
clock.
7 minutes for them to
You
come
have
back.
to.
So it took 7
on your
minutes.
card.
You can only get one every 5 minutes.
Oh, so you're just trying to. Oh my god.
I was doing it on purpose.
fast
I was
as you
trying to get fucking drunk.
Yeah.
See, dude, I can't drink like that anymore because when I used to do it in college, I would literally wake up like 3 days later. I would black out for days, dude. Because
God.
I used to also like pop Klonopins like they were fucking like sweet tarts. Dude. And I would black out for 2 or 3 days, and then people would be like, "Yeah, dude, you fucking woke up covered in blood." And we didn't know what.
Is it yours?
We don't know what happened. I would wake up in weird places and like, yeah, dude, you can't go back to this house on because I lived in Santa Barbara. You can't go back to this house in IV on Del Playa because you fucking like smashed a bunch of holes in their walls. I would just do crazy shit, dude. Like when I was on tour with Laser, you seen that video of me? Maybe you haven't. We got hammered. I opened the door to the bathroom, and the other guy that's on tour with us, Kyle Dowdy, he's awesome. He's actually fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Follow him actually if you're
Kyle Dowdy.
Yeah, he's funny. He's up and coming, dude. I opened the door to this the bar that I got arrested at.
Okay.
This is literally right before I got arrested. I opened the door to the bathroom, and Kyle's just in there recording himself, and he's like, "Look," and in Pikeville, you can punch holes in the wall, and just punching holes in the wall in this
Just some
bathroom
random
for
bar.
no reason. And for some reason I thought that it was like actually an okay thing to do.
Oh god.
So then I'm
You
so
add
drunk.
on.
I go swing at the wall, but I was so far away. I was not close enough, so I just fall like into the wall. My arm goes straight into the drywall.
Oh, god.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens though. Because when I was with Laser, dude,
That's a fair reason. to go.
Laser is the only fucking person who can. I went sober twice before, and both times he was the dude that was like, "Dude, look, just have a couple beers with me."
And then all of a sudden,
The only person that breaks my heart. Because partying with him is so much fucking fun because he's like me. We're like very similar people.
You
so
just sound the same.
that's just because I yell a lot.
Yeah.
His voice is actually like gravelly. I just yell all the time and it makes it like that. Anyways, but yeah. He's always the person that ends up getting me to break my sobriety. You
That's
know what
fair. I
I mean?
mean,
Fucking piece
yeah,
of shit.
it's a good reason when you're blacking out for 2 or 3 days at a time.
Dude.
It's probably a good reason to be like on the wagon once,
Yeah.
at least for a while. Clean up,
I
get
have
your
no
liver
desire
back
to drink.
into fighting shape.
Yeah.
Right.
I have no desire to drink anymore, though. Seriously, I really don't. Dude, drugs and alcohol are not for some people.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have lost custody of my son. I had a heart attack a year and a half ago.
Oh,
I've
fuck.
OD'd a couple of times. I have been to jail dozens of times. I have
because drugs and alcohol.
destroyed relationships all because of drugs and alcohol. They're not for everybody. You don't need to prove anything to yourself. You can
Nope.
just be sober.
You can-
I just
yeah.
take amphetamines, dude. That's all I do. Which is amphetamine salts is
prescribed. Yeah.
Adderall. Yeah, it's prescribed. Yeah, dude. I've shot heroin. I've shot fucking ketamine into my arm. I've fucking
Done it all.
yeah.
When you think about that, you kind of go like, no, I'm good. I'm good being sober. That's fair. Fuck. Nobody should judge you. That's absolutely something you should be proud of,
Well,
in my mind.
well, yeah. I mean, the boys are always gonna be like, "What, pussy?"
Yeah, that's just fucking
Yeah.
ragging
Yeah,
on
yeah.
each other.
Well,
That's
yeah,
normal.
but well, I've already also done it all. You know what I mean?
Right.
In terms of what you can, what limit you can push that in that term.
You pushed, literally, you said you had a heart attack. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
just beating
dude.
on your
I
body
was
too hard and everything.
fucking, on one. It was a bunch of bad shit happened at one time. My buddy Adam that you saw in Sunset Strip, he had a heart attack and
passed away,
died after
right.
leaving my house,
Mhm.
which was weird. I split with my chick at the time, and well, for like the 15th time, so I shouldn't even have been upset about that. And then I lost my court case.
You're just
So-
going through it. I mean, you're going
yeah, dude,
through
and
it.
I self-destructed instead of taking
Right.
it on the chin like a man. You know what I mean? I acted like a bitch.
And then
It
you
is
end up
what it
falling
is.
into
It
a fucking
happens.
hole.
We all have
Is it
our-
like you act like a bitch and had a heart attack, or is it you act like a bitch?
No, I just did too many drugs.
And- yeah,
I was mixing everything, dude. I was taking painkillers. I was
Just
doing
didn't give a
blow. I was
shit, right?
taking amphetamines. I was fucking taking. I was taking a lot of ketamine, like absurd amounts, dude. It was a kind of unbelievable. I split an 8-ball of ketamine with my buddy Brad, and
How much is that?
that's
what would
that'd be
a-
like doing like.
I've never
That'd
done
be
it.
like doing like 4 8-balls, dude, of coke. It's fucking
that
ridiculous.
much.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't quote me on that.
No, but
on the math there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was just going through a lot of shit, dude. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was being a bitch about it. I shouldn't have done that. That's fucking stupid.
But I'm glad you're on this
I didn't even
side.
learn anything. I had a heart attack, and then like a month later, I was like, you know what? Dude, I'm built different.
Oh,
I'm not built different. I had a heart attack, dude. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
yeah.
you learned something because right now you're sober.
Yeah. Well, no. So this is actually because of the stripper taser thing.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Well, that was the last day I drank.
That was the last day that you drank.
Yeah, and I
Oh
got
no
You're
shit.
going on what, a couple months now? Something like
3
that?
weeks.
3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, I fucking we got left by the stripper at JT's. We got left there. I didn't. I forgot that part of the
No,
story.
I didn't know that part. Yeah.
Yeah, I got left there. So and then Laser had to. I mean, Laser was there, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I was just like, what the fuck am I? I'm a grown ass man. I didn't have a truck because I was fooling around with a woman I shouldn't have been fooling around with, and her fucking ex smashed my window out of my truck. So it's in the shop. So I didn't have a truck. I had to get this ride from this chick. I mean, I'm a grown fucking man, and I got stranded an hour and a half to
That
my
shit
house.
happened to us when we were kids.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
that was exactly what
And we
went
didn't
through
have
my
a cell
head.
phone
Yeah.
back in the day.
I was like, dude, I got left somewhere an hour and a half from my house at 31 years old. I was like, dude, I'm a fucking loser. I cannot be doing this shit anymore. This is stupid.
Yeah.
It's a funny story, but it's dumb as
It's
fuck.
a great,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah, I got plenty of those stories. That's what I'm saying. I've already done the dude. I got stories from here to next year that I could fucking. I should write a book. Ross was telling me to write a book.
You should write a
dude.
book.
I actually have that in my notes. I was like, I heard you were going to write a book, or you guys have been thinking about it.
Ross was telling me I should write a book called. What did he say?
Right? So Ross from
How to be a piece of shit or something like
Bigger
that.
Bros, yeah.
Yeah,
How to be species? That could be a funny book. That's
and
a
just
funny
make
title.
the cover my mugshot.
It's actually funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
you-
Ross is a fucking smart motherfucker.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He's smart as
We know
fuck.
Ross, yeah.
especially with this shit. Like he knows.
He gets it. He
He knows
showbiz.
books. He knows podcasts.
He's done it all.
knows
He's
shit.
ghostwritten, not ghostwritten,
Yeah, he's
co-written, co-authored, all sorts of stuff. Matt
Produced
Bass,
a
all
ton of
those
shit.
things. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, but I got stories like that forever, dude. I need to start having good stories. You know what I mean?
Sometimes that's kind of it. But like I said, hey, if you weren't on this side of that, even the heart attack and all that shit, I may never have met you. Whatever. Peter might not have met you because that was a year and a half ago that happened. Whatever.
Yeah.
Life kind of changes.
Well, here's what I
and
realized,
turns a
man.
direction, right? That's a pretty fucking cool thing.
It's not even really for me. It's not even really about the drugs and the booze. I think it's more so just the fact that there's a facet of my personality that lacks control. So I heard this from a wise Mexican man. He told me, Gary, you can never change who you are. You can only ever control yourself, i.e. your habits, and your habits make up the foundation of your life. So if you can learn how to control yourself, then you can learn how to change your life that way. You can control your life better.
It's
and,
your inhibitions.
drugs and alcohol make that more difficult.
Right, your inhibitions coming out and all that shit. Being able to, like, you hear about like people are like, I'm part Indian and blah. Like that's something. It's like alcoholism runs deep in people are like, we've got part Indian in us and my family and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna blame anything. I drink beer fucking like it's going out of style. Coors Light's my jam.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's things like that. It's just like it can be hardwired into you. Like my grandfather was an alcoholic, my dad. So I've heard, right? I haven't seen it necessarily, but things like that kind of can be absolutely hardwired into your DNA. So, you know, I'm glad, again, we don't need to dwell on that shit, but I'm glad you're on this side of that and you fucking, you know, it's a fucking rad thing to say and to be able to be proud of. That's just,
yeah, man. I am glad that I've done it. I have a lot, like I said, I have a lot more self-control
of shit. Yeah.
The one thing that's weird though is my fucking sleep schedule is so.
Is it weird because you're not used to sleeping at night?
Because you're used to being up partying or whatever, or doing.
No. It's like worse. It's the only thing that's gotten worse. Is my sleep schedule. Yeah, because I've had like a flood of creative ideas.
Okay.
A lot. Like I've had a lot of buddies that say when they quit drinking or like musicians with heroin or ketamine and stuff like that, they quit doing that stuff and their brain is
like reactivates.
They've got no. Usually,
the opposite. Like,
usually they have no creativity.
Oh, I got you.
But for me, it was the opposite. But I'm just taking Adderall, so maybe that's. I'm not actually technically sober, I guess. But when I stopped drinking, I'm like, fuck, I got tons of ideas. I'm not like chasing pussy.
And
I'm
you have
not,
a lot more time.
Do you keep like a notepad or anything with you, like when you just like write down?
I put everything
ideas
in my. Dude, I have like maybe at this point even like 1,000 notes in my phone of just ideas, like skit ideas, clip ideas for Come and Talk It, podcast ideas, podcast topics. I have like probably 20 or 30 different what do you like subheadings? You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like different. Yeah, subgroups, subfolders, all the shit.
I started doing that same thing. When I started getting these like ideas, and I would just like open my phone. I would just like wake up, or I'd wake up like right away and write it down immediately.
Right when you wake up, that's when I get a lot of my ideas.
I would wake up on purpose. Like I'd have a dream about it. I wake up, and even if it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, I would wake myself up,
put it there,
open up my phone, write it down. Even if I wake up and it's like all spelled wrong because I fucking was half asleep. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it was. Something just like
you'll remember a little bit. Yeah.
That's one of the things. Absolutely. So going to your podcast, to Come and Take It. Come and Talk It. Rather.
Come and Talk It. Yeah.
So with that, who else is it? Just you and I can't remember the other gentleman.
Michael Cargill is the black guy who always wears a red shirt.
Okay,
that's he owns Central Texas Gunworks.
Okay, yeah,
and he hosts the show. It was a radio show for a long time, and I was like, hey man, terrestrial radio is totally fucking dead. We got to make this into a podcast.
Right. Like
what reason to have
what channel was he on? Like AM or something?
Yeah, it was like Talk 1370.
Okay.
And then that got transformed into a podcast, which we haven't even done a full podcast in months because we make a bunch of short form content.
Gotcha.
It just does so much better.
Just quick.
And that's what people like. They'll message us and say, hey, I really like what you're doing here. And so we do some informative stuff, some funny stuff, mostly legislative updates and like gun law education on Texas specifically because gun laws are so different everywhere, which is crazy. That should not happen at all. There should be gun law should be at a federal level because
the
of the
Constitution.
Second Amendment.
The Constitution.
It's insane. But the case itself that he has against the ATF and the DOJ.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Garland v. Cargill is about bump stocks after the Vegas shooting. Trump's ATF. I don't know if Trump had anything to do with it per se, but they basically banned them. And there's some other stuff they're trying to ban. The ATF honestly should not even exist. They should be defunded, in my opinion.
ATF just sounds like a party, anyways. Like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. That's just fucking like all those are great things.
Yeah, they're the party
like
police.
You are in Texas, bro. Like we are in Texas. Like it should be. That's what.
Yeah,
we don't mix all of it all the time, but I mean. It's part of life.
Yeah, yeah.
But nonetheless, go on. Sorry.
Sometimes.
Well,
The lawsuit itself, though, isn't really necessarily about whether bump stocks should be legal or not. They should be, but and it's not about the function of a trigger like the Justice Jackson, Ketanji Jackson, or however you pronounce her name, the black lady, what she's all concerned about. Because when we were at the Supreme Court, that's all she asked about was the function of a trigger, this and that. The case itself is about the fact that the ATF does not have the ability to write laws. They can't do that. That's what the legislative
absolutely 100%.
Yeah, that's what
process
Congress
is for.
is for. Yeah.
And so they're outside of they've breached what their reach should be. It's government overreach. It's actually a textbook example of government overreach, and they need to be checked, and that's what we're doing. But like I said before, at the end of this, this is one little fight, that we're having there. And Cargill's killing it, dude, with the NCLU, NCLA, New Civil Liberties Alliance. Fuck, dude.
It's one of those.
It's one of those. Their lawyers are fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
I believe the lawyer who did the oral argument for Cargill was the same guy who did the oral argument that won Trump to be on the ballot somewhere. It was like 9-0, which is fucking. It was like Colorado maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Where they were
I think
like,
it was Colorado,
Trump can't be on the
Colorado,
ballot. Like,
yeah.
that's fucking insane, dude. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's happening in a few states.
Aren't we? Anyways, that's
another
conversation.
channel.
That's fucking insane.
That's insane to me.
That's
Yeah.
that's
talked about
authoritarian.
Bullshit.
Well, that's like when these communist types will be like, well, really, no, communism's never been tried, and it's actually the people working together, and blah blah blah. It's
Socialism
yeah,
has
but
never been tried.
communism
Yeah.
lends itself to authoritarianism by design. You centralize the power. Of course, fucking power hungry psychopaths are gonna fucking
File to the
take
top. Yep.
But
Filter to the top.
so we the guy did a good job of arguing it, the oral argument, and the brief. They didn't talk a lot about the actual legislative aspect of it with the like the government overreach ATF part. They talked a lot about the function of the trigger, but the fact that they did not talk about the overreach means that since they got that brief prior, that they probably already decided that this is bullshit. So that we're probably going to win. It might be along party lines. I don't know.
Okay.
But like I said prior, the real issue is that I think I believe in federalism, which means states' rights are more important than the federal level. But certain things in the Constitution should be at a federal level, and guns is one of them. Every state should have gun rights
To follow
period.
the same. Yeah. Follow the same.
exactly.
exact-
The same
The fact
gun right
that
for every
there
state.
has to be reciprocity between different states is fucking foolish.
Yeah,
It
if I can't
breaks-
carry a gun in Texas, but then if I'm driving to fucking San Diego, the rules change for every fucking state all the way there. Like, oh, now I can have to fucking have a magazine in the back.
Yeah,
now
that-
my magazine has to be closed or locked. It's like every single place
You
has
can
different
literally
laws.
drive up the East Coast, depending on what state you hit, and be a felon in one state and be totally fine in another.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Which is why I tell everybody, fuck it.
Yeah, for sure. One thing. So I want your theories, all the bullshit going on around all the college campuses with the Israel.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, regardless of what side, the whole Palestine, we know probably what sides we're on. We know ours. But when it comes down to that, what are your thoughts on the whole college campus kind of thing? What I mean by is the Palestinian fucking protesters.
My thoughts on Palestine-Israel college protests.
Yeah.
I don't like either side.
That's kinda
personally.
I'm like, fuck them both.
I
don't
think
really give a
that-
shit. I'm just thinking about like the kids on the campuses today.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
going back to the kind of that fucking Marxism, fucking socialism, going, that kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
So that's what
it's a
they're
bunch of
really asking
kids
for.
being used as pawns.
Pawns, right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I just put out a reel the other day about communism, right? Like these people, like they act like communism hasn't been tried. One, and two, it's not what they think it is.
Right.
The ideology of somebody like Karl Marx, who is the son of wealthy Jewish parents, I believe. I mean, he was like a rich Jew that didn't really work. This guy has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Kind of sounds
yeah,
like
of course.
Sanders a little bit.
Right? Yeah. No, yeah. Sanders has like 3 houses. Doesn't he? I mean, these people are all full of
Travis
shit.
McLaren. Whatever.
I mean, the argument. I don't know about the college students, man. College kids are fucking stupid.
But they're 20 years old.
They're not
But they're
stupid.
making this-
They're naive.
They're making this huge stink, and no matter what, the eyes are on them, right? And what I mean by that is mainstream media is
Well, they
one
think
side.
that they think they're fighting for something that, like the gays for Palestine type thing. Like those people would kill them.
They would literally
Yeah.
throw them off buildings.
That just doesn't make any sense about it, because like I mean, even if like Palestine and Israel's not watching the campus and being like, oh my gosh, what's happened to UCLA?
Well,
Like,
did you
think
hear-
Netanyahu or what the fuck his name is watches the UCLA campus is like, you know what? They're probably right. Let's just stop.
Yeah,
Like-
man,
like, they have any fucking control over anything that happens in the world at all. No, they're just being fucking annoying and fucking rude to fucking people. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all it sounds like.
That's all it is.
they're probably paid.
Well, I mean,
So I saw like, and I don't know if this is true. You can go fact check us, or fact check me rather. Is there was like a sample of like some people that were arrested. I can't remember if it was Mizzou or it was one of the fucking early ones. Of the 300 people that they arrested, there was only 20 students that actually were enrolled at the school, something like that.
Yeah.
And you go, so what are they? They're the paid protesters
By
that are being
Soros and company.
shuffled in, just like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
BLM.
What's that? What's
just
Open
like
Society
Occupy,
Foundation?
yeah.
something like that.
All
You know,
those-
there was a guy I used to work with a long time ago, and he's on Instagram. I followed him, you know, whatever. He worked at PF Chang's fucking forever ago, and he was during the BLM protests.
Yeah.
He kept like updating his Instagram. He's like, they're sending me here now. Now they're sending me here. Like, and I never
Like
fucking.
they're paying him and
he
busting
cle-
his ass
they
around. and
paid for
feeding him.
his flights to go
Like
to
all
the
the-
Oh, yeah, that
professional
stuff's real.
It's like all the
protester.
tents, they
Yeah.
all are exactly the same. Like all of the things
Yeah.
you see on some of those fucking campuses.
Yeah, dude. All of a
Literally
sudden, all
exactly the
these
same.
fucking college kids out of nowhere just they can't make it to class on time. They can't finish their fucking papers, but also they got so organized they can all go buy tents and organize.
like
a giant-
REI,
Yeah,
fucking
REI
green
sponsored
tents.
their shit or something.
Exactly. And what are the fucking things you wear around? The fucking
A headdress
scarf
thing.
things. What are those
Yeah,
called?
I don't know what
They're
to call
something-
it.
You're the only one that I know that's fucking been overseas.
I don't know what it's called, though.
Balaclava?
Balaclava or something like that.
The
Baklava.
ski mask type thing.
Baklava's a
Yeah,
dessert.
it's either that or whatever those fucking like towels they wear around their necks, whatever.
Yeah.
Like where the fuck did all those come from?
Well,
right?
those protests, if you extrapolate that, they're just a metaphor for capitalism versus communism, which I think are both fucking garbage at this point. Capitalism is selling out our fucking entire country to Ukraine and Israel,
Kinda.
and communism is just a bunch of retards. Communism's worse, but
At least we have a chance to make a little bit of money in capitalism,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Theoretically.
but
I'm not saying we're actually
we can make money, but then the problem. Communism, the state, the government becomes your god. Capitalism, money becomes your god.
right, two different.
And
things.
I'm at the point where I'm like circling back to almost being like, dude, I'm going back to I was raised Catholic, dude. It's weird, man. I'm going back to like maybe we should be focusing on God.
Probably a good idea.
Man, maybe
I mean,
that's right.
I can't believe I'm even saying that. It's weird, man. But I
put your hope
this
in
is a
something other.
recent change in my.
there's
'cause
nothing wrong with that.
I was very pro
awesome.
capitalism for a long time, and I'm seeing that the state of our country, we have this massive prison population
Mhm.
that is out of control. That's
Fact.
because of things like capitalism. And the worst part is this: we actually aren't even getting the benefits of capitalism anymore because we have big fucking corporate bailouts for these companies.
Yeah.
So, and no
100%.
matter who we elect, they're a piece of shit. I mean, Trump was better than Obama, but he still passed the fucking goddamn bump stock thing. I mean,
Yeah.
none of these people are really that good.
They don't give.
None of them are really thinking about the American people in general because
Not at
They
all.
don't
did.
give a shit.
Because guess who pays them?
It's that adage.
They're
the old
getting
adage.
they're getting bought off by people outside of this country, dude.
Exactly.
It's the best.
Or blackmailed by Mossad with fucking Epstein or whatever. I mean, there's a litany of ways you can infiltrate a country and
Yeah.
use subterfuge to dismantle it. It's
100%.
fucking out of control, dude. I mean, we're living a very similar, a parallel wavelength to what happened in Rome. Not totally. It's like if you combine pre World War II Germany, like 1930s Berlin. You take that and smash that together with Rome. That's what we're experiencing. So we're either going to totally collapse or the country's going to turn full Nazi. It's fucking crazy, dude. Did you know that in 1930s Berlin they were doing like transgender surgeries? They had hyperinflation. They had like rampant drug problems. It was a lot of the stuff that's cropping up now. Like there's a lot of parallels to be drawn, and now you're getting all the Jew hate. You know what I mean?
That's fucking bizarre.
That's
'cause
crazy.
It's come out of nowhere.
I didn't
in
even
the
know that
United
stuff. That's
States.
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know about those. Yeah,
No, I didn't
but
know
the
that.
Germany
Oh, you did
and stuff
know
like
that.
that. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Well, before the fucking internet was totally goddamn like censored all the time, you could look a lot of this shit up on YouTube.
That's why I use DuckDuckGo. I fucking try and use that as much as possible.
Well, some of that stuff still gets scrubbed, but
Yeah, it's just from the internet.
that actually is a better. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
dude. It's not good. In a certain capacity, you could say that we're in dire straits. Depends how you view things, if you're dramatic or not. But it's not looking good. I mean,
it's one of those things that if you watch the news and you watch social media and you constantly are on it, you can get fucked up. Like you can fuck your brain up and start.
You know
thinking-
what? You know what's really crazy, man, is that to go back to the fucking Jewish thing. You know, a lot of the times, like people will just be like, "I hate Jews. Jews did this. This Jews are behind this." It's like that. What? Maybe there's Zionism behind stuff, but that's like you can't just say all the Jews did.
No,
this,
it's fucking
it's
exactly
crazy.
No,
Yeah.
it's like
But
all white people
that's
are
what
fucking,
that's what they say, and then you dig into the fucking like. If you really start digging into some of this shit, you'll realize like, oh wait a minute, the the Muslims and the Christians actually like have a lot in common,
Mm-hmm.
and
even the areas they live in, like
dude, it's weird,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, what are we even fucking fighting over at this point? You know what I mean?
But their fight goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Why?
And at this point, there's like
Why?
exactly.
It makes no fucking sense.
it's all
It doesn't
over a
make
piece
any
of
sense. It
property.
goes,
Well,
it
I
goes back
think it's
stories.
and- yeah,
I mean,
thousands of years
but,
ago.
you know, if you were maybe a fucking billionaire, you could, or a
influence some
group of
that shit.
billionaires, you could influence the media to stop manufacturing shit to pit people against each other. I mean,
And that's kind of the biggest thing.
well,
in
who
the
thinks fucking Iraq was a good war?
right?
Anybody?
I can't think about a single
Who
person.
thinks Vietnam was a good war?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Not a single person.
Yeah.
The last
No.
good war was probably World War II when we actually like went out and
And
actually,
actually finish something.
destroyed
You
a
ever,
bad person.
you
Like,
ever hear what fucking who was it? Patton? Was he the general in World War
Yep.
II?
yeah.
You ever hear what he said about the Nazis and the fucking Soviets?
What's that?
What was it?
He said, I fear that we fought the wrong enemy first.
What does that
The
mean?
Nazis. He's saying he thought
Yeah.
the Soviets were worse.
Oh, well, the Soviets were worse.
Yeah. So he said, I fear that we fought the wrong enemy first, referencing fighting the Nazis and teaming up with the Soviets. Then he died in a car wreck a couple weeks later.
A questionable car wreck.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Was CIA around by then? I don't know.
They were at the time the CIA was the fucking.
They were the secret.
They were that-
fucking-
there was a
called
different
something
name,
else.
but
Yeah,
they-
different name, but yeah,
they
they're
still
there.
were there. They're just the good old boys kind of club before it
Yeah.
became kind
Well,
of.
Prescott
They're
Bush
pulling
was the
press
one that
on.
founded the CIA, and
Right.
he was selling steel to the Nazis or something too, which is
Something,
fucking
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
There's I mean, none of that, dude. Our government has fucked us, and that shit all happened post World War II, and that's because of things like Operation Paperclip and a couple other things where we got like
I
these
love
Nazi
going to those
scientists
things,
and
yeah.
NASA and
Yeah,
yada
yeah,
yada.
yeah.
But what I think really fucked us, and the reason you're seeing these things like these college protests where people are pitted against each other, is because all the Hitler expelled all the like before he started killing Jews, he expelled a bunch of the Jews from the university, like the communist type Jews
Mhm.
from Germany, and a lot of them came here. And guess what they got into? Academia.
Mhm.
And that and when I say Jews, I don't mean like, again, not a fucking
There's no negative.
not a blanket. What's the fucking term I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blanket term, yeah.
A blanket, yeah, not a blanket term. Jesus.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was because they were Jewish. I think it was the problem is that they have this communist ideology, and then they infiltrated the schools, and that shit's been happening for fucking 70 years now. So we got the ivory towers been hacked by
Yeah.
people that don't agree with the American way of living. So they're brainwashing our fucking
Kids.
next generation
Yeah.
to be fucking super left wing.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's not
crazy.
good at
It's
all.
crazy to see, but it's kind of good to see that there's still some out there like those fucking frat guys.
The
Get
frat
the
guys.
flag. It's like there's still some good
I
boys
looked
out
that
there
shit
like
up yesterday. They were like
on
$517,000 on their
their GoFundMe.
Like,
Yeah,
happened
I saw that.
yesterday.
Yeah,
That's fucking rad.
Yeah,
Big Bro
dude,
sent him a bunch
I like
of-
the dude in the overalls.
yeah,
Did you
dude,
see
it was great,
that?
man. It
There's
was
all
fucking great.
sorts
He was
of
like,
memes and
And
shit.
they're like,
Yeah.
there's this like fucking purple hair weirdo fucking he's screaming out. He's just like, fuck you. It's a blah blah blah. Fuck you. It's
fucking
man,
great.
it's fucking great.
Yeah, no, that was. I mean, yeah, dude. Fuck.
It's good times, dude.
Yeah.
All right. It's the point in the show. We got to wrap
You
it
got
up
anything
here.
else? Are you?
That's what I got for
Okay,
today,
cool,
man.
cool,
But I
cool.
want to thank you so much for coming in to Baldy and the Big Guy. Also, the bar is open. This is all kind of where we do everything from this set here.
Yeah, I like this.
We appreciate it. I saw you eyeballing the gun. Did you see the picture above
what,
it?
Yeah, what's the deal here with
So
this?
that is my father-in-law's service weapon. He was a DEA agent, an undercover DEA agent.
Oh god,
So that's his service weapon. And that's one of his, the picture just above it with the heroin. That's one of his busts that he did.
you know,
It's Saturday night, right?
it's good.
Just a little bit of heroin. That's how you eyeball on that.
You know, that's another thing we could get into maybe at another time. But
Yeah.
in brief, I will say this: busting heroin distribute. I'm from Dayton, Ohio, dude. Heroin decimated my hometown. That's
Yeah.
why I had to get on a train and leave
Oh, fuck.
because I got a felony
Gotta
for
get
breaking
out.
and entering. It's a long story, but my first friend died from an OD when I was 15.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then
That's
it was
hard.
like every year after that it was nuts. But my point that I brought up was that you know, there's a difference between fucking picking up a bag of fucking heroin like that that's like destroying kids' lives and then arresting somebody for littering.
Fucking-
we can leave it on
That's
that.
a
You know what I mean?
big difference. Yeah.
Yep.
Where can everybody find you?
Oh, at the.scary.gary on Instagram, and then my YouTube is just Gary Faust. I got more. I curate my content so
Okay.
that Instagram is like the best stuff because the algorithm's a little bit touchy.
All right.
YouTube, I throw every piece of shit up there, dude.
It's fine. Let us see
So,
what sticks,
Is,
right?
is your podcast the Faust the Furious?
Faust and Furious.
That's under Gary
yeah,
Faust.
yeah.
on
Check out
YouTube?
Come and Talk It. Check out Drunk Uncle podcast with me, Laser, and Bobby. I do a podcast with them.
Nice.
We haven't recorded an episode in a while. The last one we did was with fucking. We did it live at Can't Even Comedy Festival with Adam Ray and
Oh, that was fucking good too. I was there.
to hear more. And I spilled a fucking. I did a boot beer and I spilled it all
You
over
came out
Adam Ray.
dressed
It
as
was
fucking-
hilarious.
You
Yeah,
came out dressed as Uncle Phil.
yeah, I came out dressed as
no,
Dr.
that-
Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Dr.
Yeah, I kind of
Uncle
botched
Phil?
that bit, dude. See, that's the other reason I got to stop drinking, dude, because I went out there. I drank like fucking
Because
six.
you pregame.
I
gotta
drank like
stop
6
pregame.
beers, and I come out, and I was like, I was kind of drunk, and I was like, you know what, dude, it'd be funny if at the last minute, instead of acting like I'm Dr. Phil, I'll be like, yeah, I dressed up like Howie Mandel. That's the guy that you faked to me, right? And I thought it was gonna be funny, and then the crowd was like,
Deadpan.
they're like, what, is this guy hammered or what's going on? I was like, yeah, dude, we're at a fucking bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Drunk Uncle too.
Right on.
That's a good pod. And the fuck else do I do? I guess that's it.
That's it. That's good enough.
Not drugs.
There's a lot of places you can check out.
Not
Scary
drugs.
Gary Faust is all good. Thank you again.
for having me, man.
Thank you so much for coming, hanging out, Peter.
Hey, everybody, go out and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and
iTunes,
follow
Spotify,
everybody else
all the
and-
places.
watch the episodes.
Again, cheers. Appreciate it again, man.
Thank you very much.
And we'll catch you
Yeehaw.
next
Of
time.
course, dude. Yeah, I'll come back whenever.
Later, guys.